So this is going to be part 2 of my little series of like the little side hustles, the little apps I'm using to put money together to get my Michael Jordan rookie card for the free. So I'm going to just jump right into it. There was a very long video. I decided to chop it up. So this is the second installment. Let me know if you have any questions below. All right, so this one is Start. It's Microsoft and also links through that Bing page. This is all like a bunch of news and stuff. But what's interesting is that they have a scan and earn option as well. And so you can scan your receipts to wherever you were. You'll get bonuses for these places, or you'll just get a receipt. And what's cool about this is you can see in the top right corner, I have 62 cents. If I click on that, I can just cash out and it'll go straight to PayPal. So I have 62 cents from scanning receipts. Pretty easy. Pretty easy to do. I haven't had any problems at all. I don't have a receipt. Scan, 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 scan. But yeah, pretty awesome, I think. The Upside Down app is a gas app. So I will say that I don't use this a ton because, and I'll get into it, there's some creative savings things that I do. But you can see that if I go to this racetrack, um, it tells you the price at 2.83 a gallon, but it'll give me 7 cents back for every gallon I put in. They also have like food and I never do any of these. So the only thing I ever do is gas when I happen to need gas when I'm out and about. Again, it takes a little bit more effort to do it. I will say that I haven't had any issues with it. I did the first time I tried it out, which was a few years ago. I wish I had left my I wasn't empty when I tried it. I just wanted to see how it worked. So I wish because they give you a bonus for your first one, it's like 50 cents back or 25 cents back every gallon. And I already had a half a tank. I just wanted to see how it worked. And I wish I waited till I was empty to do it. So I missed it, certainly missed out on a few extra bucks there. So if you are going to try it, I recommend you being empty first. Um, there's a couple things you can do with this, which is really nice. You can link your credit card, so it'll if it once you pay for it, it'll automatically give you your credit back, or you can just scan your receipt. Both of those are good options. But you can see that I have $12.84 here now. That's what I have back. And I said I don't use the app a ton, but you can link to your bank account. But here's the deal. So yeah, my recollection is you can stop. Um, I've only cashed out once or twice with this one because I just don't use it a ton. But if you only have like $3 or whatever, there's like they penalize you. I think you have to have $10 before they don't penalize you. But you can link to your bank account. So instead of having a PayPal, they just put it right into your account. But here's PayPal too if you wanted to. Yeah, so it's pretty easy. All right, so here's what I wanted to show you. Um, if you have less than $15, they're going to give you a dollar fee for like handling, I guess. So I wait. I'll wait till I have 15 bucks because I'm not in a hurry, and I'd rather have my extra dollar. But that's important to know. So if you see you have $8, you're like, oh, I want my $8 back. They're going to charge you a buck. So it's just something to keep in mind. Okay, and the last one I'm going to show you is this Sell Poke Codes. It's a recent find. So, um, here's the deal. My kid used to play the online game and doesn't anymore. And when it comes to Pokemon cards, they come with little code cards, at least in the American versions, in every pack. And I'm like, what do we do with these? Maybe we'll just give them away or something. And we gave some away, but people weren't really interested in it. So I'm like, I don't know, what do we do with them? And so I found that you can actually sell them. And this is a website that I found, or an app that I found. It's pretty awesome. And so on here, it'll tell you all the codes you can sell. So right now, Paldea Fates is the most recent set to come out. And for every code card that you pull out of Paldea Fates pack and scan. Right now, it's worth 2 cents. Paradox Rift, 4 cents. This Mew UPC is worth 5 cents. Look at this whatever EX, whatever that one is, $1.50 if you scan that code card. But what you do, and I've done this a few times and haven't had any issues, is you go to scan. I pulled out some cards. Uh-oh. Why are you not working? There it is. I took it. That was weird. And it took that one too. You can see how the little lines turn green. And I turned it on so it buzzes in my hand so I know it got it. So every time, there it goes. All right, so that was my last one. And then we just go to submit codes. 10 codes were added. I think that's right. Hold on, let me count real quick. Let me count to make sure I got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. We're going to go to next. And there are all my codes. I'm going to go to submit. Your Poke cards have been submitted, and then back to home. So what they'll do is they will test to make sure all those codes were still unused, and then they'll send me an email and tell me how much I'm going to get for these. I think most of these are from older sets. Probably some of these Paldea Evolved, Scarlets. So, and another thing, if it's not on here, like it's a set that's not on here, it's automatically just a penny. So, yeah, so I'll get at least 10 cents, I think, for these. So that's 10 more cents, and you can do a PayPal option, your payment option, and then it'll go straight into your PayPal. So that's very, very nice. And that right. Oh, so here we go. Right now it says it's currently under review, and it's going to be 15 cents. So not bad for just chunks of paper that would otherwise get thrown away. And you'll just be able to cash out whenever you're ready, and it'll go straight to your PayPal. So pretty easy there. All right, so those are the little apps and side hustles that I'm going to do. In addition to selling stuff on eBay, I'll probably sell some stuff on Craigslist or whatever. Things that are maybe too big to sell on eBay, or just maybe too cost prohibitive to ship. And there's one more thing, and I almost hate to bring it up because I think a lot of people get in trouble with it. So, but I will go and just throw it out there. I use credit cards that give me cash back options. And the reason why people get in trouble with it is because they overspend. They spend more than they have, and they get in trouble. And it's really easy to get into a really terrible place with credit card debt. And I have been able to avoid that. I don't spend it unless I have it. So if you do it right, and you have to pay attention because it takes some work. You can use your credit cards, and they'll basically pay you. So let's say I have a credit card that gets 2% back on every purchase, and as long as I pay it off every single month, and what I do is I pay it off every paycheck, so every 2 weeks, then I get my 2% cash back and never pay any interest. That's not bad. So if you get your 2% cash back and you go through Swag Bucks and you get another 1, 2, 3% cash back, and you went from 2 pennies to 4 pennies or 5 pennies for every dollar you spend. Again, it's stacking those pennies and watching it grow. There are other credit cards that will give you more than 2% back. Special other things, like I have another credit card where if I eat out, it'll give me 3% cash back, or if I use it on gas, it'll give me 5% cash back. And if with the right kind of planning and keeping the rewards in mind to minimize your actual out of pocket, it's not bad. But you can get in trouble real fast with credit cards, real fast. So I know I'm preaching to the choir. Anybody who's ever had to crawl out of credit card debt, you know how hard it is. I mean, people suffer from it their whole lives. It's so hard to get out of. So I'm not saying that is an option for everybody. I am saying because of how I do things and how I'm able to manage things, it does work for me. And so the only reason why I bring it up is because that is going to go into my pot, my MJ pot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my progress as I go through. And I didn't want it to be like, where did this come from? Where did this imaginary money come from? That's where it's going to come from. So on top of that, I'm going to put the money into a interest-bearing savings account, which right now I think is getting like 4.5%, 5% or something like that. There's a website called nerdwallet.com if you're ever interested in trying to find options that might be good for you. I'm not paid to say that. I'm not on their payroll, but NerdWallet will give you a rundown of a bunch of different kinds of accounts, savings, checking, and whatnot, and then kind of give you the fees and also kind of the advantages. So maybe if you're looking to make a change, that might be somewhere where you want to start to do some research. There's sometimes some good options there. And there's also creative savings. So we've talked about kind of the side hustle for making some money on the side. I mean, there's also things like you can go sell plasma, easy peasy. There's some plasma places close to me. I've done it before. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, I would encourage it because they are taking that and actually creating medicine to save lives. So I didn't feel bad about it at all. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't something that I enjoyed, but every once in, sometimes you need some extra cash, and it's easy to do. So certainly nothing wrong with it. And so there's that. There's other things. I don't do the medical experiment things. I'm scared of those. So there's that kind of stuff. There's another one that I didn't talk about. It's called P&K Research, where they do testing, but instead of medical testing, it's almost always food. So like you go in and you'll try a bunch of chips or sandwich meats or something like that, and then you tell them, what did you think about it? And that's not bad. And sometimes you just walk in and you eat some chips, you answer some questions, and you walk out with $40. It was like 30 minutes, $40, and you fed me. I like that a lot. It's almost like we went on a date. So that's not bad. But I don't think they're everywhere. They're in some major cities. Like I think they're based out of Chicago. But I'll put a link down below, and you can check it out in case it's one of your cities. And if it is, hey, again, referral, hook it up. Because if you guys hook up with some referrals, I might get MJ a little faster than I thought, which would be amazing. What else? Oh, speaking of creative savings, there's two things I like. One, we get our medicines and do a lot of our grocery shopping at Kroger. And Kroger will give you points that you can use for fuel. And so every month we buy enough where I basically get $1 off of gas every month, which is pretty nice. But it's only maxes out, at least in our area, at $35. And my little card doesn't hold $35. So I actually have gas cans because I want all $35. So that's extra $35 a month that I don't have to pay for gas. And nice. So the creative savings aspect is if you typically would have spent that, why not take $35 out of your account that you would have spent on gas and throw it into the jar? Pretty easy peasy, right? Another one that I like a lot that my grandmother told me about is adopting is very expensive. It's very, very expensive. And she knew a couple back in Brooklyn, a young couple that couldn't have babies and they really wanted to adopt. But it was so cost prohibitive that they really were having a hard time going through the process of getting a child. And one of the things that they did back in Brooklyn, back in the 50s, is anytime somebody took them out to eat, they would put $5 in a jar. And what they said, just like with the gas, is if that they would have otherwise spent the $5, and it could be $10 or whatever amount you think is appropriate. They would have spent that day feeding themselves, but so-and-so took them to dinner, and therefore they didn't have that expense. So they took the money, they added it to the jar, and that's how they started saving creatively to adopt a child. That's something that stuck with me, and I thought that was really cool. So between getting cashbacks, stacking your cashbacks, there's also credit cards that will give you extra percentages back if you shop at certain places. Like I took my kid for hamburgers and I got an extra 5% cash back on where we went for burgers. And all that stuff adds up. And so I think what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of options there for creatively putting money aside for whatever your goals may be. It may just be savings goals. It might not be a Michael Jordan rookie card, although all the cool kids are doing it. It may just be Christmas money or birthday, or just a little extra cushion month to month. And it's little ways to get creative with earning and savings, which doesn't cost you anything, but it does take a little bit more effort. It takes a little bit more planning, can really pay off. So I'm sorry that this video was so long, but I wanted to show you just some of the things that I've been doing, and some of those, like the swag bucks, I've been doing it for a very, very long time. It's everything that I shared with you today, I have cashed out with and not had any issues with at all. Otherwise, I wouldn't be putting out there. So I've tried other things I didn't like that we didn't talk about today. And I know there are other things out there, but those are the things that I talked about today are the things that I like, and that are easy for me with the way I manage my lifestyle. So I hope you found it informative. I hope you maybe found some things that you can work into yours. And like I said, if you do try anything new and you want to use that referral code, hook it up. But you don't need to do that. I'm happy if you found something that was good for you. So anyway, the journey continues. I got a long way to go, but I am confident that I will get there. So I'll talk to y'all later.